All right, this is the formal beginning of the club meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Glenn Plantone, your host and founder. Welcome to the Orleans Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. I like to just do that. I'd like to have a little fun with that. But anyways, welcome to our event tonight. As you can see, we're the 14th of November. This is, I think, is our 9th event. We started in March, I believe. We've grown. We've had a nice group of people. We appreciate you guys coming out. We appreciate you when you come back to bring your friends. We'd like everybody to learn from what we're doing, and we try to do a couple different things. One of those things, of course, is networking, 6 to 7. So I do encourage people to get here early to meet the other people, to meet the people that are presenting, the sponsors, so that you guys can really understand what's going on. It gives you a good chance to talk with other folks. Second thing is to learn what's going on in real estate. Now, we'll always have a presenter that'll be an educational presenter. We also always have a presenter or two that'll have an opportunity. Because those of us that do invest, we want to look at opportunities. I just had a comment from Luke earlier and said, you know, you guys don't do a whole lot of stuff locally. And I said, yeah, we don't, because I myself as an investor don't do a lot locally yet. I did a couple of years ago, and I will in the future. But I really believe that the local market is going to come down. It'll still come down, so I'm not sure that it's the best time to invest locally. And that's why most of what I've done personally has been out of Las Vegas, and that's the way I envision it. And so because of my vision, that's kind of what we'll look to do. So, you know, I've done a lot of stuff internationally. We've got Nicaragua here tonight. I've done a lot of stuff in several states. I'll always share with you what I've done personally, and the investors that have stayed with me have done really quite well. And we've got another person in tonight, Adam Sachs, is going to talk about his personal success story. And I think it's important because you can learn a lot from people that have been successful, and that's one of the things I like to share with people. The other thing, of course, we like to have fun. And, of course, as I said before, we like to cover all three markets, local, national, and international. And we always have updates on all of those three different markets. And we try to mix it up so we've got something new each event. These are some of the places where you can find us. MRECLV.com. And that stands for the Millionaire Real Estate Club Las Vegas. I took the of out of there. Nationalnewbuilds.com is my personal website for my company. We've got a new one that's coming online, but I'm not going to give it out yet because the website's not quite ready. This is actually my second website, and you know, every year or two as you get bigger and better at what you're doing, you want to increase and get a new website that's got more features and that's got video and what's that word we talked about today, Trish? You know, virtual tours. We want to have virtual tours of the different properties that we have, and so that's something that we'll be adding to the website. Our office is up in called Centennial Hills, so if anybody ever wants to come up and visit us, Ron's been up there. Kevin was up there before. It's not that far. It's right across the street from that new hospital going in, the Centennial Hills Hospital. I bought several units in a condo complex. One of them is a one-bedroom. I converted it into an office. Don't tell the people that are there, though. They don't want an office in there. But it's really worked out quite well. We've got 3 or 4 people that work out of the office, and Sabrina is in the back. Everybody, I think, has met Sabrina, and Jackie's out front. And so that's how our office works. RockRollandRealEstate.com. That's a radio station out of the Bay Area in San Francisco. I've been on there several times over the last year and a half. And that's really been quite good because they covered several markets. The San Francisco market is a really good market because of the fact that there's a lot of money up there, a lot of California investors with equity, good jobs, good credit. They don't know what to do with it. We show them where to put the money. And so that's, you know, been a very successful area for me to market in that market. And a lot of the shows that I've been on are actually archived. So if you got on their website, you can do 2 things. One, you can listen to previous shows. And the second thing you can do is you can actually listen to the radio show from your home computer, and it runs 10 to 11 o'clock on Sunday mornings. So that's something to take a look at. We passed out a folder. Everybody's got the folder. In that, we've got a couple different things. One of those, somebody was asking me, I forgot his name. Well, he's in there somewhere. But about the Fab Forever. How many people were here and saw the Fab Forever presentation in the bowling alley? A couple of months ago, they didn't have room for us, so we had to take the room in the bowling alley here. It actually turned out to be a good room. And it worked out well. We had Jerry Peluso and Jeff Patchen, who's one of our members that's been here for almost every month until tonight. And the reason why he's not here tonight is because tonight's the opening night of the Fab Forever, which is playing in downtown. What it is, it's a Beatles rendition group. They look like the Beatles. They sound like the Beatles. And we made a pitch 2 months ago, and folks invested some money in that. And it's opening up, and we're curious to see how well they do. I'll hopefully be going, within the next week or two to that. So that's up and running for investors that were curious as to what's going on with the Fab Forever. And we've got other things in the folder. Can you open your folder up for me, George? Just to say again. Am I going there tomorrow night? Not tomorrow. I've got to go to Nicaragua in a couple days. I'm going to visit these guys' project down and get to meet Jack. So that's going to be kind of fun. We've got the agenda for tonight. We pretty much stay to that agenda. We may go off base a little bit. If anybody wants to be a presenter or a sponsor, we've got a little information on that. And then there's an opportunity that we're going to talk about next month, which is very interesting. It's investing in a medical practice, medical building, and that's something that I think will be very interesting in the Fab Forever. So take a look at that. If you got any questions, again, feel free to get a hold of me. Okay, so that's that. Glenn's take on real estate. You can't really see this, but I think it's something like 8 months in a row, Las Vegas, or I should say Nevada. How's it going back there, guys? Oh, look at that. I think it's been about 8 months in a row that Nevada has led the nation in foreclosures. Now, Las Vegas is not the #1 city, actually, but the state of Nevada has been #1 for a long time. And that's one of the things I was talking to Luke about. I think it's going to continue to come down. So if you buy something now, there's a good chance that even a year from now, it's going to be worth a lot less than it is now. So why not just wait till it's at the bottom and then buy it? And then you can only do one thing but go up. So that's kind of my philosophy. Not to say you can't buy something 50 cents on the dollar and turn around and flip it or hold it long term. That can still happen. But I just wanted to point that out that Vegas is still got a lot of foreclosures and they're picking up. What's going on in Las Vegas? Well, this week is pretty interesting because the National Association of Realtors is having their annual event in town. How many people have been to that? We've got a couple that have already been. How many people plan to go to it? Okay, still Sean's going to go, and we got some other folks to go, and that's good. I don't know if I'm going to have time. I'd love to go. I know that the Nicaragua folks, Rob's been over there, and they're in town to do that, and so this works out really well because you can do two things at once. But that's one thing that's going on in town. The second thing is less than a month ago, they had what they call the Crystal Ball. Has anybody ever been to the Crystal Ball? Okay. I went to that myself. It was the first time I went to it, and I kind of wanted to see what was going on. It was pretty interesting because you saw two different things. You saw Larry Murphy, who I felt was very realistic in what he's talking about with Las Vegas real estate. And he talked about he felt about 18 months of downage before it turned around. And he gave a lot of stats and figures and facts. And then Steve Botsfeld that was very optimistic on the Las Vegas market. Now, I can understand why he's a little optimistic because we talked last month, Sean and I, or Jeff and I, Scott, sorry. Scott and I talked about the numbers of new jobs being created over the next several years in Las Vegas. Something like, was it 40,000 hotel rooms going online in the next 5 years, creating somewhere near 240,000 jobs. And then if you're married, you're talking 500,000 new people. So you're talking a lot of people are going to need to be in town over the next several years. So with that being said, I can understand how he could be optimistic. But at the same time, he was talking about 3 months of downage and then it's turning around. So I think that was a little bit too optimistic. But we'll kind of see what happens. But it was very interesting to go to that event. There was about, 300-400 people there. I've heard there's been as much as 2,000 there. So the number of realtors involved in real estate in Las Vegas, I think, is going to shrink tremendously. One of the things I've done in the last year or so, I should say, is talk to realtors, and I've done it before. How many realtors are there in the room, by the way? We've got we've got a bunch, actually. And I always encourage you guys to get together with me if you are having a slow business and you've got investors, get together with me because some of the projects we work on out of state, we actually co-op with. And we've got some really good cash flow properties out of state. We've done real well with our hotel condo projects that we've got in Orlando, Florida. So if you're interested in that, talk to me about that individually, and we can hopefully put your investors into some good stuff. Over the last month, I've traveled quite a bit. I was in Hawaii for 4 days earlier this month. Got to speak in front of a large real estate club out there. And Hawaii kind of got cut off from the rest of the world. They've got great value in their real estate. They've got, Sabrina knows, they've got equity. They've got good jobs, and they haven't done anything. So they're looking for great projects. So we met with about 110 investors. We had about 25 of them contact us that are ready to go to Orlando to get into this project.